Hey guys, I'm Steff and welcome back to my beauty stash. Today we're going to be playing around with a brand new 10-pan color icon palette from Wet n Wild, and this one is in the shade Lights Off. Let me give you a closer look so that you can see this brand new little palette. Now these shadows are with the new Wet n Wild eyeshadow formula that is ultra creamy, buttery smooth, and now vegan. I picked this up from the Wet n Wild Beauty website and it retails for $6, and of course you get 10 really pretty cool tone neutral shades. Today I'm going to be creating 2 looks for you guys using this cute little palette, and then I'm also going to tell you what I think this is a dupe for, and I'll show you swatches and all that good stuff towards the end of the video. If you guys want to see the 2 looks I create with the Lights Off eyeshadow palette from Wet n Wild, keep on watching. Alright guys, so this is look number 1 using the Wet n Wild Lights Off 10-pan eyeshadow palette. Let me quickly take you through the shades that I used. Once again, I started with this like a taupe color right here, and I worked this through the transition area, but I didn't take it all the way in. I kind of just kept it on the outer half of the eye, and then I darkened up the outer corner with this blackish gray shade right here. It has a little bit of sparkle, but you don't get that sparkle on the lid. As you can see, that didn't transfer at all. It was more just like a dark charcoal color rather than being a matte black. This is the matte black right here, but I did not dip into that one. And then for the inner portion of the lid, I went in with this shimmer shade right here, like a light gold shade. And then I really wanted to use this one because this kind of looks like a little duochrome or something. Like it has a little, let's see, has like a little shift to it. Ignore my dirty hand over here. But to me, it kind of had like a little green, gold, maybe even a reddish shift to it. So that's what I have right here on the center of the lid, and also on the inner corner and a little bit on the lower lash line. That's why I added the green liner, because I went in with this dark green matte shade to do the lower lash line, and I took that almost all the way up to the inner corner. I kind of just left it like maybe 3/4 of the way, and then I wanted to go in with the shade right here. This is a really pretty shade. I do feel that this one, again, it's best applied with your finger, and it's like that other shade that was in the Call Me Sunshine palette. It's more of a topper rather than an all over color. So kind of see it in that way. Also spray your brush the way I did in this palette with that particular shade that is similar to the one that is in this Lights Off palette. They're beautiful shades, but those, I think your finger and a damp brush, you're gonna get maximum payoff. And then I just added a little bit of a green liner. This is the NYX Epic Wear liner in the shade Intense Teal. That's what it looks like. All of the products, guys, that I'm using on my face, they will be linked in the description box down below, and some of them might be affiliate links. So if you do end up purchasing, I thank you so much for supporting me and my channel. But yeah, guys, this is the look. I really like it. I liked the green, especially this little shade in the middle. I don't know, that's a really special shade. So also, I added the new Wet n Wild Big Poppa Mascara. I went in with 2 coats, and I used their new eyelash curler to curl my lashes. And that's all I added. So let's jump over to the other eye and work on look number 2. Alright guys, so this is look number 2 using the Lights Off eyeshadow palette. Let me quickly take you through the shades that I used. I started off with this matte dark brown, and I worked that on the outer portion of the lid, and then I worked it into my crease, taking it all the way in and just lightly blending upwards. Then I went in with this really pretty bronze shimmer shade, and I did that mainly on the outer and middle portion of the eyelid. And then I felt like the look needed to be darkened up a little bit, so I went in with this matte black right out here, and that was perfect. It blended out beautifully, blended into the dark brown really well too. And then I went in with this like silver shade right here, really pretty. I wanted to try that in the inner corner because I didn't want to go back and use a shade that I had previously used on the first look. So I thought that worked out really well. Like the nice contrast between the bronze and the silver looked really pretty. And then I ended up taking the bronze shimmer shade on the lower lash line and then going back in with that silver shimmer shade that I had in the inner corner. I just kind of dragged it down as well. For eyeliner, I used my holy grail eyeliners from Wet n Wild. They are the Breakup proof eyeliners, both in a liquid and retractable pencil, and both of them are in the shade black. And of course, I went in with 2 coats of the Big Poppa Mascara from Wet n Wild. Curled my lashes using the same new Wet n Wild lash curler. And this is the look that we got. All right, guys, so now let me give you my final thoughts on this new Lights Off palette. I have to say, guys, that these last couple days, I've been playing around with all of these new eyeshadow palettes from Wet n Wild, and this is a new formula that they just created. And I have to say, this one so far is my favorite. I just love the color story of it. I thought all of the shades performed really well. I didn't really have trouble with any of them. The only one, this one, which is similar to what is in, or is like the formula type, what is in the Call Me Sunshine palette. That's more of a topper, and it kind of has like a different reflect to it. So use your finger or use a damp makeup brush for that particular shade. But guys, other than that, I really didn't have to spray any of the shimmers. And you saw that I went in first just either with my finger or the dry brush, and then I showed you when I sprayed the brush to kind of get that more impact for that particular shade. But I thought that this palette performed really, really well. I am liking them all so far, but I'm kind of partial to this one just because of the color story, and it has this green here. I just love all of the tones in here, and I really like the two looks that I created. And then of course there is a little bit of kick up in the pan. I showed you guys that during the first look right at the beginning with all the shades. Just dip in lightly with the brush. I think you're going to notice the kick up more so with the mattes. But then also some of the shimmers, they're softly pressed. So just be careful whenever you're dipping in. Just don't go in too hard. Don't be rough with it. But overall, I think Wet n Wild did a great job with this one, and so far this is my favorite. Now for what I think this is a dupe for, and I just teased it last night on my Instagram, and I showed you guys the swatches, but I didn't tell you what palettes I was using. So let me go ahead and insert that swatch photo now. It is an indoor photo with flash. No sunshine today in South Texas. Actually, it was a really cold, chilly day. That's why I have my little scarf on. So unfortunately, this swatch photo is gonna be indoor lighting with flash. Let me go ahead and show you what that looks like. But I find a lot of similarities between the Lights Off palette and the Natasha Denona Glam palette. This is a $65 eyeshadow palette that also has very creamy, smooth, just gorgeous, buttery, blendable shades. And of course, this is a very cool toned, neutral eyeshadow palette. Great formula, great product from Natasha Denona. I mean, you wouldn't expect anything but the best for $65. Now, the Wet n Wild Lights Off palette retails for $6. And it is creamy, maybe not as creamy and buttery as this Natasha Denona is. But I can guarantee you guys, if you were gonna blindfold me and have me dip into either of the shades with my finger, I couldn't tell the difference, because Wet n Wild did do a great job with this new updated formula. It really is more creamy, more blendable. It's just a much better formula, at least in my opinion. That's what I've been finding out versus what they had in the past with the 4-pan palettes and the older 10-pan palettes. So if you're looking for a dupe, maybe you've been wanting the Glam palette and Santa Claus didn't bring it to you this year, consider picking up the Lights Off palette from Wet n Wild. I think you're gonna find a lot of similarities between the two. I'm not gonna say it's a spot on dupe, because obviously Natasha Denona is a very high quality luxury makeup brand, but Wet n Wild is following very closely behind. So this Lights Off palette is a very nice, affordable alternative. Alright guys, so that is today's video of me reviewing the new Wet n Wild Lights Off palette. Definitely leave me your comments down below. Let me know what you thought. Let me know which look you liked best. Any questions you have, and let me know, do you think it's a good alternative for the Natasha Denona Glam? I know I didn't do a look, like a comparison look, but I think you can really tell from the swatches that there are definitely a lot of similarities. I just wanted this video to focus on the Wet n Wild Lights Off palette, but you guys know I am always looking out for the dupes. I want to thank you guys so much for watching another one of my videos. You all have a great day or night, wherever it is you all are at. Stay hydrated, guys. Drink your water. Cheers. And I will see you all very soon. Bye.